2 days, Korea has been seeing figures above 400. 438 is what we're seeing this Monday, with 414 of those being local transmissions. And out of these local, although cases did drop to 34,201 infections here in the country, a death toll of 526, and also the number of people who are in quarantine for the virus has surpassed 6,000 now. Now, with these daily numbers rising at this level, health authorities have been considering whether or not to impose tougher.
Following this past Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes, Sunny, as millions of people have been traveling back home following the Thanksgiving holiday, the country's top infectious disease expert Anthony and those are the updates I have for now. I'll have more after the government briefing. Back to you, Sunny.
All right, Soa, thank you for now. Now, we are still waiting for the briefing to start, and perhaps while we do, we can have a few words, or exchange a few words, that is, with our Kwon Soa regarding what is expected to be announced perhaps on this Monday, Soha, by our health authorities.
Well, because it is Monday, we are likely to hear of the weekly assessment of the coronavirus situation, and probably we will have a daily rise, an average in the daily cases, because we have been seeing cases in the 500s last week for 3 straight days. Although we have been going down to the 400s on Sunday and also this Monday, that is, of course, due to the lower number of tests conducted over the weekend. In fact, I believe we had some around 7,000 less tests than last Friday, for instance. So we might even see higher numbers as the week progresses. Authorities have been also warning that if people do not abide by social distancing measures, the numbers could even rise to above 1,000. Of course, that is if people do not abide by the measures. And they should, especially because the government decided to keep the level in the metropolitan region at level 2, and that with consideration of economic woes that people could be facing. But as you mentioned just earlier, we do have these extra measures in addition to the level 2 measures, which include stricter measures at some high-risk facilities and even the banning of some of those, such as saunas, as well as indoor sports facilities. And these are, in fact, dubbed the so-called plus alpha or extra measures, because we do have a 5-tier system now, but it's not at level 2, also not really level 2.5. It's going to be not easy for citizens to really remember all of these measures, but they can be fined actually for not abiding by those. So businesses will have to study all of these measures beginning tomorrow, because this measure will be in effect for a week from December 1st to December 7th.
Right, and of course, these measures that you just mentioned also include a lot of activities regarding concerns in response to the aerosol transmissions. Exactly. As well as those forbidden instruments, necessary instruments, and of course, you're also preparing for the college entrance examination measures. I think that examination will take place on Thursday, and we have a few measures in place specifically regarding that as well. Yeah, so we have measures regarding that as well. Many trans schools have there have been infections with the trans schools, and also other facilities for students to be going to. So PC rooms or other high-risk facilities have implemented stricter measures. Of course, authorities are doing all they can so that the students can take the tests in a safe environment. And that also goes for students who actually have symptoms of COVID-19 and even those who are infected of the virus, because in Korea, this test is really important, which is also why authorities have been, again, raising social distancing measures in the span of 2 weeks. So we have just recently been at 1.5 levels here in the metropolitan region, but just days after we went to level 2. That is not only for the safety for the students, but of course the entire nation. Right, and speaking of these students, for those who display symptoms on the day of the test, do remember they are separate centers where they can take their test. They will not be forced not to take it, of course. Measures have been kept in place to ensure that these students who display symptoms on the day of the test, that will be on Thursday, is it, Soa? They will be able to take the test as well. Now, we are still waiting for the briefing to commence, and perhaps while we do, we can take a look again at the toughened measures on facilities and activities. Briefing is about to start. We will come back to you afterwards.
Let us now begin our regular briefing for the COVID-19 response here in South Korea. As of November 30th, Monday, we have... Thank you very much.
Right, that was Commissioner Chung Kyung with Monday's afternoon briefing. So what was the gist of her address?
She said something very important: minimize physical contact until the end of this year, because the current crisis is seen as the biggest crisis we've seen here in the country ever since the first outbreak 11 months ago. And that's also why we're seeing currently a daily average of 400 cases in the past week, which is up by 144. So nth transmissions is what we have to be careful right now, because infections are traced to a wide variety of places as well as among a variety of groups.
All right, so thank you for that. I'll see you again tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Right, elsewhere, France.